Hello party people, and welcome back to the channel. The channel that continues to keep it real. I always said Chris was lying about the garage door control box not working, because Chris got it fixed 2 weeks before he went to North Carolina.
It says at 5:27 a.m. the overhead garage door 2 was left open and never shut. About that time. So either like when I pulled away and shut the door, it never shut. It was shut when you got here. So either the sensor was tripping out, which has happened before, so I had to replace it 2 weeks ago.
Chris was on the phone with Vivint several different times while he fixed the garage door after the part came in. Coonrod tells James that he tried to open the single-car garage door, but Coonrod never said he tried the double garage door.
See if that one's unlatched. I've tried to open it from the outside.
Chris said the double garage door was unlocked, but Coonrod never tried it.
Doors around the house locked?
Front door was locked. The garage door was unlocked, but that's normal.
And Nicole Atkinson did not pull her car up tight to the garage door for no reason. She pulled up tight to the door to prevent the arriving cop from being able to try and open the unlocked garage door. Atkinson's car is like 10 inches away from the garage door. Now look what a viewer on my channel named June found. The garage control box worked all along, just like I always said. So the lawyer and defense team got into Chris's house on August 17th by punching the passcode into the control box and entering the house through the garage door.
Let us know.
Yeah, I assume you got a code for the garage or something to get in?
Yeah. I mean, we didn't need a key to get in. You just punch in the code and it kind of pops open or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when we walk out of here, that'll work?
That's what I was saying. They should probably let us know.
Yeah, I assume you got a code for the garage or something to get in?
Yeah. I mean, we didn't need a key to get in. You just punch in the code and it kind of pops open or whatever.
Yep. At the door.
Yeah.
So
The new homeowner never had to fix the control box that Chris said wasn't working, because it worked all along. Nick Baby sat for Chris and Shannon before, and Nick Dog sat for Chris when he went to North Carolina.
Was strict, which mattered because I babysat the kids. I dog sat for them.
The reason I said the control box always worked was because if it didn't work, Nick would not have opened the control box lid.
His mom's gonna get it.
Okay.
This is her parents.
Coonrod told Nicole to call Chris and get the garage control box password, and Atkinson said she would call Chris. However, Atkinson called Sandy instead.
Do you mind calling him and seeing if we can get a passcode to this and get me permission to go in?
Okay.
I'm just
Atkinson never called Chris, she called Sandy. And Atkinson told Cop Zentner that Sandy gave Atkinson a bunch of different numbers to try and open the garage door, but none of them worked.
Is there a key code, Sandy, to open the garage from the outside? What is it? His mom's gonna get it.
Okay.
This is her parents.
Mike, what's the key code of the garage? Shanny's house. The cops are there.
Oh, he wasn't there yet. And then I called her mom, because her mom had lived there too. So I called
Cassie, because Cassie stayed with her, and then her mom stayed with her. So I was trying to get anybody to give us a code for the garage, because that was the only way to get in. So I let Chris go, and then I called her mom, and her mom didn't know what was going on. And I was like, Sandy, do you have a code to Shannon and Chris's garage door? And she was like, she started giving me numbers, but none of them worked.
Atkinson said she called Chris, then hung up with Chris to call Sandy for the garage control box number. Well, why didn't Chris give Atkinson the code since Atkinson claimed she had Chris on the phone? Atkinson told Cop Zentner that Sandy gave Atkinson a bunch of different codes to try and open the garage door, but none of them worked. Now why would Sandy give Atkinson a bunch of different codes when it would only be one code? You hear Sandy ask Frank for the key code.
His mom's gonna get it.
Okay.
This is her parents.
Frank, what's the key code of the garage?
Why would Frank give Sandy a bunch of codes to give Atkinson to open the garage door if Frank later said the garage door control box never worked?
Remember something. When the police were there with Shannon's friend and they called Chris to get into the house, he said that the keypad to the garage wasn't working.
Yes,
Are you familiar with that? That is correct.
Didn't work when I was out there.
Didn't work when you were out there? Okay.
No, because she asked me the code and I told her the code. It was 2385. As far as I remember, it was 2385. And she said, no, it's not working, it's not working. And then I knew it was still not working. Prior to when Shannon was here, well, out there by me, they were having a problem with the garage door. It would just, all the time would just repeat itself, saying someone's opening the garage. Garage is opening, garage is opening. And she kept telling him to call and get it fixed. And he said, I'm working, he's doing it. And then he fixed it. And that's why when I asked the police, did the alarm show anything more from the morning? And they said it did go off. And I was like, well, I know she said she was having a problem with it. No. Whether he ever got it fixed or not, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's the only other thing that I you know, the keypad did not work.
Okay.
I believe we talked to him and the kids that Sunday night for FaceTime. I believe Bella was eating cold pizza and some kind of a Jolly Rancher taffy or something like that it was. And that was the last time I've talked to anybody. I haven't, the last time I talked to my daughter, I got to look at my phone. It was a while because she went away, and I usually don't bother when she's away. I'll text her here and there, but that's the last until that morning when that afternoon we found everything out.
But in all honesty, if it doesn't stand out to me now,
Today?
it probably
That's
wasn't relevant.
What about that 9 o'clock thing you were telling me on Monday?
Oh, that he told me? Oh yeah, well we'll get there. We're still on Sunday.
So we're on
night.
Sunday.
The police had Chris's vivid records and know someone opened the garage door at 9:10 a.m. Here is a documented working timeline. Atkinson wakes up at 7:45 a.m.
And I woke up at like 7:45 that morning, and I didn't hear anything from her. I thought
Nate's camera is triggered at 8:12 a.m. Cassie texts Shannon at 9 a.m. The cop shop gets a call at 9 a.m. The garage door is opened at 9:10 a.m. School is called by a woman pretending to be Sandy at 9:30 a.m. Someone contacted Sandy. Sandy calls Chris at 10:03 and 37 seconds a.m., but he doesn't answer. Cassie texts Shannon 12 seconds later at 10:03 and 49 seconds a.m. Sandy texts Chris at 10:28 a.m. and asked if Shannon was okay. Sandy denies calling the school 3 times. Sandy denies calling the school before she first spoke to Chris. Sandy only spoke to Chris at 10:44 a.m. Sandy therefore isn't the woman who called the school at 9:30 a.m. What woman knew what school to call? What woman knew Sandy's name? Why don't you tell us, Nicole? Now watch this.